T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ignition, liftoff.
Nominal power and telemetry.
So we are about a minute into liftoff. Falcon 9 has successfully lifted off from Space Launch Complex 40 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station. In just a few seconds here, we are expecting the call out for max Q. That is the period where the vehicle will experience the highest amount of aerodynamic pressures.
Max Q.
And there was the call out. So now that we've gone past the period of highest stresses on the vehicle, we have 3 events happening in quick succession in about a minute. First, we have main engine cutoff, also referred to as MECO. Then stage separation, followed by second engine start 1, also known as SES1. Main engine cutoff is where all 9 Merlin engines on the first stage will shut down to slow the vehicle down in preparation for stage separation. During stage separation, the first and second stage will separate from one another. The first stage will make its way back to Earth for landing, while the second stage continues its journey with our satellites with the third event, which is second engine start 1. The single Merlin vacuum engine on the second stage will then ignite and continue to propel those Starlink satellites and BlackSky satellites into orbit.
MECO.
Stage separation confirmed.
So you can see on screen we had successful main engine cutoff, followed by stage separation, and on the right-hand side of the screen, that is the engine glowing red hot. On the left-hand side of the screen is a view of our first stage. I think we're getting some views of twilight right now as the sun has just set in the East Coast. In a few seconds, we are expecting fairing deploy, and that will expose the satellites to the vacuum of space.
Fairing separation confirmed.
We got the audio and video confirmation on the right-hand side of your screen. The fairing halves have deployed. We are going to attempt to recover those using our recovery vessel Bob later on in the mission. For now, the mission is going great. Again, the left-hand side is a view from the top of our first stage looking downward. You can see little plumes of gas coming out. That is nitrogen for our as part of our attitude control system to help orient the first stage booster properly as it makes its way back to attempt its 9th landing on our drone ship in the Atlantic Ocean. Right-hand side is a view of the second stage Merlin vacuum engine, the 48 Starlink satellites, and the 2. All right, 3 engines have relit on the first stage. If you're keeping track, at the bottom left-hand side of the screen, there is a speedometer of sorts that is tracking the velocity of the first stage. You can see that we're starting to reduce that velocity.
Stage 1 engine burn shutdown.
If you keep an eye on that, as soon as the first stage hits the denser parts of the atmosphere, we'll continue to slow down its speed.
Stage 1 landing burn.
So there's the call out. The landing burn has begun.
Terminal guidance.
In just a few seconds here, we're going to see if we can land this first stage booster for the 9th time.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
You can hear the cheer and the applause, and there's the visual. This first stage booster has landed 9 times. This marks our 89th overall successful recovery of a Falcon 9 first stage, and the 129th successful flight of a Falcon 9 first stage.
12 payload deployed confirmed.
So we did get audio confirmation. I am looking on screen right now to see if we can see it visually. Again, the 2 BlackSky satellites are actually positioned at the top of the stack. And so the objects, if you will, that are closest to the screen, those are the Starlink satellites. So we didn't quite get the visual confirmation of the first satellite. Maybe we'll get the second one. But again, we are about 3 minutes away from the second deployment of the BlackSky satellite.
Global 13, payload deploy confirmed.
And that is great news. We've now successfully deployed the 2 BlackSky satellites on behalf of our customer spaceflight. We are wishing them bon voyage to the 2 BlackSky sats, and it was our pleasure to give you a lift today. With that, we are awaiting the deployment of our 48 Starlink satellites, which is scheduled p.m. Eastern Time. We saw successful stage separation. We saw second engine start and second engine cutoff successfully twice on the second stage. We were also able to land our first stage booster for the 9th time on our drone ship, a shortfall of gravitas, and then about 20 minutes ago, we successfully deployed the 2 BlackSky satellites. We were expecting the Starlink satellites to deploy around the T+1 hour and 29-minute mark, and at that time we didn't have ground station coverage, so right now we should be coming in the range of South Texas ground station and getting confirmation of the Starlink satellites deploying. So I am hearing that we did indeed get